Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Brian and I'm joined by Tamor, who's filling in for Ryan once again. Tamor, how are you doing?
Doing well, Brian. Doing well. I applied to a contest to win tickets to see the Odyssey. Really hoping because
Oh,
I can't freaking get them, so literally need
yeah,
to win a contest to see that movie.
I know. I was thinking about that. Like, oh, should I try to see if I can see it this weekend? And I'm like, they're probably sold out everywhere at this
Especially
point.
70 millimeter. Yeah,
Yeah, forget that. Yeah. Yeah, the only way you can get it is winning a contest for that.
yeah, yeah,
My hope is that maybe in a couple years they put it back in theaters.
yeah. Maybe we'll just wait till.
Yeah. Nah, so all right. From one medieval setting to another, I guess one myth to another myth. Uh what did you think of this fourth episode of House of the Dragon?
It's great. I mean, I was on the show for the first two episodes, which were much more, they were crazier. Let's just say they should have been the season finale. Leading into the season
Yeah.
finale, season two. So it's understandable that those episodes packed much more action and much more crazy storylines. And now we're kind of seeing the cool off from that. But honestly, I'm totally in favor of it. Game of Thrones has always been the kind of show where even in these moments of calm and kind of the quiet fight over the throne, the quiet fight over power, it still shines. So I loved it.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot too. I think a good setting the table up for the rest of the season in this episode, but we had one big revelation in this episode, and that was, of course, uh, Damon finding that Sheep Stealer's rider is his daughter.
I know, and to be honest, I completely forgot that she was his daughter. There's so many families, so many people to keep track of, and I'm like,
Well, as she says, like, he hasn't really been a great dad, not
yeah,
terribly present.
no, exactly. He doesn't strike me as a great father in general,
Yeah.
but yeah, to see his reaction, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that that's literally his daughter that he's looking at, and now he has the option of, kind of selling her out for brownie points with his wife and kind of giving her that satisfaction of perhaps revenge or, kind of keeping it secret and risking his own livelihood, risking his own life.
Yeah. So Rhea's putting herself in exile, self imposed. And I think it was very interesting. Like, obviously, Damon doesn't really value people he doesn't care about, but like to kill the random herder who's just like, or shepherd, just like standing there
Mhm.
and bring that back as the person who's riding Sheep Stealer, pretty cold.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, the prosthetic they used was just so freaking good. I mean,
Horrifying.
it's
Yeah.
horrifying with the teeth and yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew exactly like when he looks at the guy and kind of Damon by now he's up to no good. It's like it was
Yeah.
either that or just like, oh, I can't have any witnesses. That was like my first thought. It was like, oh, he just can't have any witnesses, and then it was just like,
Yeah.
oh
Right.
yeah, no, he's gonna use this guy as a pawn, as a tool, and we'll see if Rhaenyra kind of buys it. But I don't know. Something tells me she's like a little more skeptical, but I think a bigger part of it also is just she's a mourning mother. She can't let this go so easily. It's not just like gonna go away for her.
No. And so, yeah, I think this is really the only chance for his daughter to live is by him doing this. I don't know how much she believes him. I'm sure she wants to believe him. But I don't know. Tough situation there. And really, Rhaenyra is just having a tough go of it in general now.
Yeah, and it's gotten to the point now where I'm kind of like questioning, is she going to be able to hold this throne? I mean, it was so satisfying to see her finally get it, even though
Yeah.
there was mixed feelings as we discussed. Um, it wasn't the most triumphant, win
No.
for the throne. And now that she's here, it's like, does she really want this, or does she want, you know, to be remembered? And I think there's another scene in this where that was discussed. Like You not to jump too far ahead to Aegon and his storyline, but
No, yeah, let's go there. I mean, whatever. So we're jumping
yeah,
all around. It's all good.
yeah, yeah. So basically, Aegon is told in order to survive, even though he's so pompous and he can't like hide the fact that he's like royalty, he can't just blend
Mm,
in. He's told like, if you can pull this off and we can survive this, they're going to tell stories about you. And I think in that moment, you realize that is like what a lot of these people want. And I think I would include Rhaenyra, and that would include Daemon. They want to be remembered. They want people to sing about them in the future. They want to be in the history books, and yeah, I think that's perhaps powering Rhaenyra more than you know the actual job itself. Does she really want to like clean up these rats and be working with the common folk to figure out like supplies and food? And no, I don't think she really honestly does.
yeah, it's a tough job being the queen, as we all know, and I think that we'll see how that plays out. I mean, she doesn't even have like a small council at this point. Her main guy, the sea snake, is like sending his son in his place
Mhm.
to the council. What would you think of that whole scene and situation?
I mean, in a way, like it is unfortunate, especially for Rhaenyra. She doesn't get this kind of wise older figure on her council that she can trust. But at the same time, I think this is like a really interesting dynamic, and I'm really eager to see how they play off of each other. I mean, we kind of get that a little hint of it with the suggestion of like on the ships we use cats, and it's just like no duh, she didn't think of this
Yeah,
because she's like royalty. Um,
and hey, the cats go all the way to Game of Thrones. They're still the main rat catchers in the castle at that point.
oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like a if this was like Star Wars, that would be the Han Solo origin story. Like the cats
Yeah,
is where they started. Um, and so yeah, no, I'm really excited to see that dynamic and how they play off each other. And I think he's really the kind of character who is just he's going to be honest. He's not like he's not really playing the game to in the same way that others are. Like I mentioned, to get the stories and the notoriety. Like
yeah,
he's such a genuine person.
yeah. No, like Alan of Hull. Hopefully, one day he'll get to be Alan Valerian. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this will soften Renera up to him, and she'll be like, you know what, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
You can be Alan Valeria.
Hopefully.
Although she has to contend with being the queen of bastards, as we saw written on the wall. Ulf saw that. He went to drink with his buddies, which is very fun.
Yeah.
Nice to see. I was thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if we'll ever see those actors again.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, they got to be in here. But I don't know. Renera, what are you doing here? Because he has the third biggest dragon in the realm. He's an important part of your army. Treat him a little better. She treats him like shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think she looks down upon him. He's of lower, class, and he's not the smartest. We found out in this episode he can't read. He doesn't know what the graffiti says.
But like, yeah, he's a peasant, of course.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's like put a little respect on his. He is,
Yeah.
controls this dragon now, which deserves a bit of respect. And I really do think he's become the kind of the comedic relief in the show. Which
Yeah.
I was thinking it was gonna be Aegon, but as we see in this episode, that kind of becomes a little bit more serious. And yeah, but yeah, I can't wait to see more of him. And now he's trapped in the castle and can't go anywhere.
Yeah. His little jab, and he's like, they're calling you the queen of bastards. Like crazy that they're doing that. Anyways, bye. Just spin her out a little bit on the way
Yeah,
out.
right.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of social strategy games, as you know, covering Big Brother on this channel as well. Kind of thing you say to someone to just get them to spin out. And,
Right. Yeah, on the way out, spring load
yeah,
and walk away.
yeah. No, so very fun there. We'll see how that plays out. We got Tumbleton That is the city that Darren and the other High Tower, whose name escapes me at the moment, are at. Um,
Ormond.
Ormond, yes, Ormond High Tower, who we got to know him a little bit more in this episode. We got to see quite a bit more of him. Um, got a nice
Yeah.
butt shot of him. Uh,
Yeah. What a
think
move,
about,
man.
yeah. I feel like it's like, okay, if I know I have a scene like that, I would just be like hitting squat rack so hard
Yeah.
for
Like three
like,
months.
yeah,
Don't know your
exactly.
lines.
Just
Literally
like
back.
I need this one shot to be good. And
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Pretty good, I thought.
Pretty good. Oh, that was great. And just the reaction from the other actors was just so brilliant. It's like such a power move to just like slowly get out of a bathtub. It's like, oh, fuck, all right.
Yeah. So we think like he's gonna be pretty reasonable. Other than that, that was a weird move for sure. But one of his soldiers assaults somebody and he spares them. And you're like, oh, he's a good guy. Like, yeah, he's in this war, but he seems honorable.
Mhm.
And no, he's joining a long line of Westeros villains who are just a little bit fucking crazy.
Yeah. And honestly, I was not expecting this based on
No, me.
last week's episode where you just kind of get a brief, scene with him bowing and handing over the fake, son.
Yep.
And then yeah, here we go. Now we have this like very, to me, he's like very strange. He has this like not oral, what is it?
Oh yeah,
Olfactory
he's
like
yeah.
obsession, like with like perfumes and stuff like that, and then he loses his shit.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
guess he's like sensitive to smells, so he just is pumping perfume into his nose constantly.
yeah, perfumes or teas or something, and
Yeah.
it's just such an interesting character trait, and it really, I in this actor, I will look up his name, I swear, after we record this, but like I really see him as like the next great like villain actor, like Alan
Yeah.
Rickman or
He's
something. It's
been
just
good
like
so far. Yeah.
just so good at playing like he's handsome, it's like deceptive. He's like you don't think he's gonna like fucking go crazy and start bashing the table in with his sword, but then
I know.
he
That was a
does.
great scene.
um, and yeah, I think what does Ormond Hightower want? I mean, I think it's an extension of Otto. Otto was
Yeah.
beheaded. We don't have him anymore, but this is still the Hightower name, and this I think we're setting up for the season like what we've kind of been seeing in the first two seasons. Yeah, well, I was curious what you thought of that, Brian.
Yeah. So I love this like addition. It really feels like when he's talking about like, oh, we used to rule Old Town. We were like, the guys here until the Targaryens came. It kind of recontextualizes Otto doing his schemes to get his blood on the throne. It's like maybe this was a long-term conspiracy by the High Towers to get power back by basically usurping, but usurping through marriage. You know what I mean? Like it feels
Mm-hmm.
like this was their plan all along. Like this was their long game. They were actually like, fuck the Targaryens. I mean, you see how he talks to Darren. He's like, your blood's tainted by Targaryens, and he
Yeah.
hates the dragon, and the
Mm-hmm.
dragon, I think, also doesn't love him too much. So it feels like this was the High Tower's plan for generations, and like they're at the point of like maybe they'll actually be able to win the throne and have their bloodline be like in power.
Oh, completely. And I mean that that happens in real life throughout history as well. Stories get passed down and narratives get passed down through generations, and you know, within a family, you can even think like, okay, we are owed this piece of land, we are
Yeah.
owed this whatever it is. Um, and so I think that's really what we're seeing here, and it honestly makes Otto's whole arc like that much stronger. Like
Yeah.
if you were to rewatch this show from the beginning, it's like, okay, now we're getting like a sense of like what this family really is about, and it's not just one sole person
Guy.
kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, like kind of like being like, okay, what would be cool, like if I could get the throne for my daughter or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
no, like they have almost like a very deep hatred for the Targaryens, almost like on like a, not like, it's not racist because but it is almost like they hate the bloodline that much,
Yeah.
and they hate the dragons, and it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, dragons are such a huge trump card in this world. Like, you can be the smartest, you can have the best armies, and so we could just roll in with a dragon like Ulf. This peasant can just have a dragon, and then what?
Yeah, yeah. It really kind of almost destroys like the Targaryen argument of like, oh yeah, we're like this like solid bloodline, and it's so
Yeah,
like pure, and it's like okay, but what about this lowborn who like has like one of the biggest dragons and goes to the pub and just like pays can't even afford like other people's drinks and stuff. Yeah.
and realistically, getting back to Ulf, him doing that, going in there and paying for everybody, that's good publicity for Rhaenyra's
Mm.
like side. She needs to be taking these wins, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's the struggle for her. It's like she doesn't really. It's she's starting to realize how good her father was as a ruler and as a diplomat. It's like it's so much harder to be a leader in peace just for that very fact. It's like okay, yeah, you can go to war, you can win battles, and you can be the strongest if you fucking work out and if you have bigger dragons. But like to be a leader of peace and to have everybody respect and love you, that's like so much infinitely harder.
Yeah. Yeah. Bouncing around again. The scene with Aegon and his dragon, I thought was really great.
Mm.
Very sad. Like, I always see like the memes, like people being super sad watching the all the dragons are gonna die show whenever a dragon dies. But it's real. Like they have such like personality and like you could tell how much Aegon loved his dragon.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as like the kind of person who would do that because he really is like such a sarcastic kind of little jerk, very privileged. But it's just like you have to compare it to like a pet or something that you've loved since you were a child and you kind of
Yeah.
raised, and then you get that moment where he's like he's alive. So that was the question. The big question for me this episode was like, is Sunfire actually alive? Is this dragon? I don't know if it's a he or she, but are they like you know
I think it's
hibernation?
ambiguous on any of the dragon's genders.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So are they like in hibernation? I mean, to me, it didn't look like a decomposing dragon,
No.
so it's feasible.
Yeah, we'll have to see there. But yeah, I think that they wouldn't have Aegon be like he's alive without
Mhm.
right. I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see what happens.
yeah. It is an interesting line if he's just purely grieving and kind of like I don't know, almost in denial, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like so far fetched. It's like, dude, this dragon's been here for how long has it been? I don't know, like weeks at
Months.
least, months.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he was in bed for a while. Yeah, so like, be fucking insane to just say that unless he really felt it deep down. So
yeah. The timeline's tough. Speaking of, everyone's very confused by Helena being pregnant.
yeah,
Now, um, presumably they're like, wait, but didn't Aegon like get his cock exploded by fire, as he said last season? Yes, presumably they did this before
hmm
that happened because they were married. You know,
yeah, yeah. They were married, and it's feasible, I guess. It's hard to say without like kind of a distinct timeline, but it's hard to imagine who else it even might be. But she did kind of have like a bit of a smirk, It wasn't like a she did. I
yeah,
mean, she's not like the dumbest girl, really. She has like these weird, like kind of deep intuitions and almost like mystical divinations. But like at the same time, she's pretty innocent and doesn't have like a big hand in everything. So her like almost like childish like reaction
yeah,
when she discovered it, it was like okay, huh, she's
yeah. So
something cheeky there.
that's not going to be great when Rhaenyra finds out.
Oh
She
no,
doesn't want any more heirs. You know,
yeah, exactly.
So we'll see there. But I thought that was super interesting. In the book, they do have another child who's already like born. So
Oh, okay.
I think this is finally introduced. They're like, we don't want another toddler actor because famously Ryan Condal said that it's really hard to, include toddlers because of all the, red tape around
Mhm.
using them as actors. So they're like, oh, we'll just have this kid be inside Elena and then we don't have to cast anybody.
Yeah, and it adds stakes in like an interesting way. But yeah, if I recall, and it might be different in different countries. I'm assuming they're shooting in the UK, but like I know in the US, you can only film with a baby for like something insane, like literally 2 minutes on screen, and then they have to like rest again. So it's like really difficult, and there's just it
Yeah,
eats into the production time. So I imagine that's also like they were like, this could be cool for the story and save us a ton of money.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's why like you really only see their daughter Jahara like in one scene in the background of one episode. It's like,
Right.
yeah, this is too much. So
Hmm.
yeah. What did you think of Ormond making Darren kill that guy? That was brutal.
Oh, super brutal. And I think, I mean, we're getting more and more of Darren, who, by the way, I I was like, this guy looks so familiar, and then I remembered that he's cast in the Legend of Zelda
Yeah,
movie, but I think they probably filmed that when he was younger, so he
yeah.
looks a little older. But it's funny, you look at him and you look at the actress who played uh, his mother. What's her name?
Allison.
Yeah, Allison, and they look very similar, like the younger version of Allison. So it was really casting,
Yeah,
great casting choice on that. And he's going to be really an interesting character because he's getting the Hightower education, which
yeah.
turns out is like much more brutal than even the Targaryens. It almost seems. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
almost
have
feel like he's going to turn on Otto based on that, but
on Ormond.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, Ormond. Yeah.
Um, I really think the fact that well, one, we don't know if that's his natural hair color. I assume it is, unlike his brothers having silver hair. Allison says like sending him away is probably the only like good thing I did. Do you think that Otto like made her send him away because he didn't have the silver Targaryen hair, and they were trying to say that Rhaenyra's kids were bastards, um, and it would have looked bad for them because like no, like this one kid looks way different than your other kids, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that's such a cool idea. I mean, I think I wouldn't put it past Otto to kind of
Yeah,
put those gears into motion and kind of be like, all right, you know what? Like all these other kids are a little fucked up and they got silver hair and I kind of resent them. But this one, like maybe we can raise him right and kind of, not that Otto saw everything coming and everything, but maybe he was also preparing him as like his own like heir and his own like
yeah,
what am I trying to say? It's like personal heir. It's like okay, the other ones like they're fighting over the throne. And this kid's gonna be like the High Tower that kind of survives and
yeah. The High Tower, and then they'll kill Aegon and Aemond, and he'll be king, and
yeah,
the High Towers will be ruling.
right,
It's a huge scheme. I love it. I think it's so.
yeah.
It's not something in the books like this. This is
Oh,
show
really?
only stuff, but adding so much subtext to everyone's actions. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and it really kind of. I mean, it's the marketing around this whole season has been kind of like the red versus green. And I always thought that was like a little bit weak. I was like, everybody's basically rooting for Rhaenyra, right? Like, unless you're like, just like I don't know, doing it as a troll, like voting for green. But this really does add to that conversation of like, okay, there are two distinct sides here. Green is like on the men; they're like a little bit, working in the shadows right now, and training the next heir, but like the fight is still going for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So Christian Cole and Gwaine roll up to Heron Hall. They get to meet one of our favorite characters, the witch.
Mm-hmm.
She is, I just love that there's just a haunted castle. Like everything else is happening. Also, this castle is haunted. A witch lives here.
Yeah, yeah, and now like basically controls the castle.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
basically in charge of the castle.
yeah, yeah. And we don't see
So
Aemond. Like where is
no,
he? I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I based on the last time we saw him, I feel like he didn't ride off on his dragon. I feel like she's keeping him there.
No, yeah, and that also raises another question, like where did the dragon go? Because they
Yeah.
clearly were like, oh, we found a dragon's nest. It's clearly left. Where did she? I don't know, using
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
witch powers. What the fuck did she do with the dragon?
Telling it to go hide in the cave.
Yeah. For some reason, I imagine Eamon like in this weird like cocoon, like Metal Gear Solid esque thing, where she's like building it up to be the next like big enemy or something. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I would assume she's gonna be in control of him in some way, some
Yeah.
kind of
I
brain.
cannot wait for more scenes between her and Eamon. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's two little freaks just interacting. It's gonna be so good.
I mean, he's the only character that's like so confused and kind of like in incel in the Game of Thrones world, where he's so desperate and horny that he'll like follow this crazy witch, yeah,
Oh,
do her
for
bidding.
sure.
Oh, man.
I love it. I can't wait. Because we've had like no Eamon this season. Eamon's one of my favorites. Like I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
what's that little weirdo doing now?
right, exactly, yeah.
So good. Um, so what else is there? We have the Allison scene with Rhaenyra. Talking a little bit more about. Do you think Rhaenyra like kind of low key still wants to be friends with Allison, or like why is she coming in all the time and asking Allison questions?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a good question. I love all of the scenes that they're in together because it's such an interesting dynamic where it's not like you could easily play these out where Allison is just like angry or like emotionally like absent and kind of hiding her emotions, but it's like Allison, I don't know, it's interesting. They're still friends after all of
Yeah,
this. Like
right.
that's the weirdest part. And I think they can both sense it, but at the same time, it's like, all right, there's bad blood here. Like we've kind of fucked each other over and killed each other's children. Like at the same time, we're like BFFs.
Yeah,
Um, so it's so interesting, and I don't know. It's really nuanced. I would imagine Rhaenyra feels very lonely, and she's going to the person who she feels closest to, as emotionally as a friend, and that happens to be also her like arch nemesis.
yeah. And it's like it probably could have worked out before Helena got pregnant. Now that Helena's pregnant, I don't know if Rhaenyra is gonna necessarily let her live or even have the baby, because that's a threat to her, especially if it's a son.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's really one of the big questions with the season is like how far are you willing to go and how many like heirs are you willing to like destroy? Like yes, you're like destroying, or you're upping your own position by like killing heirs by destroying like people's children, and but at the same time it's like yeah, this is people's families, and I think we're gonna see Rhaenyra's like she's gonna have to make a huge decision about this, and
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like, is she a girl's girl, or is she gonna be a harsh ruler just for the sake of it? I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. We know what Damon's gonna advise,
Oh yeah.
so we'll see there. Anything else from this episode that you wanted to talk about that we haven't gotten to?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of questions set up, and yeah, I'm really eager to see if Sunfire is alive and what that kind of brings back to the board. I would love to see Aegon kind of like kissing. He's like he had to kiss the boot, do all this awful work which he's not used to. And I would love to see like a kind of a Tarantino revenge scene where he like just burns all these like
Yeah,
awful guys.
that might be the end of the season, right? That might be his end of the season arc.
Yeah, yeah.
He gets power, and then his dragon's alive, and then he's like, "All right, fuck you guys."
Yeah,
Hopefully, he doesn't burn the one other guy who like stutters. He's
yeah,
trying to
no,
be nice.
right, right. It's like, oh yeah, we'll get food tomorrow with a smile. It's
Yeah,
like, you fucking bitch. I'm
yeah.
hungry now. Oh man.
So good. All right, Tamora, anything you want to plug, promote, or yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah, if you like this, check out our other podcast on The Last of Us,
Yes.
where we talk in detail about that show. There's so much more to talk about with season 3 if you're up on the game and everything. And Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for The Last of Us season 3. Uh, Probably, some of the most compelling story in the game is going to be adapted into season 3, and it's kind of really expands the world and super interesting. There's people fighting, backstabbing, killing each other. So if you like this, you'll like that.
Yeah. 100%.
Other than that, make sure you check out the main channel. We did everything. We cover video games in the form of video essays and video game reviews. We have our Those Fake Nerds channel, which is daily news on video games. We get sports, where we cover sports news. This is, of course, Better Radio. Make sure you follow all of our podcasts, Worth Fighting For, The Have Not Room, The Blindsiders, all of those. Wicked Good Show, of course. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.